Right now I'm just outside of Cleveland visiting family, but something happened that I simply had to say something about, to the point where I hijacked a computer for Windows Movie Maker and hooked up a Rock Band mic to the computer to say it. I was watching the NFL Network, and they were talking about Hall of Fame induction ceremonies, which are happening later today. After that and some news stories, they played a special called The Top 10 NFL Players Not in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. One of those players was Steve Tasker, who played special teams for the Buffalo Bills. He covered kicks, blocked for returns, and sometimes was used as a receiver. But special teams was his main gig, and he was great at it. But he and another great special teams player, punter Ray Guy, have one thing in common. Neither of them are in the Hall of Fame. Why? Well, let's get back to the reasons in a second. First, I did some quick, probably inaccurate research to try and put this into perspective. There are currently 253 players, coaches, administrators, and contributors in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And when I say these numbers, keep in mind that I'm only counting the players that just played this one position. 55 of those members are offensive linemen, 36 are defensive linemen, 30 are running backs, 28 are quarterbacks, 16 are linebackers, 13 are receivers. Now, try and guess how many special teamers are in the Hall of Fame. And when I say special teamers, I mean kickers, punters, coverage units, kick returners, anything special teams related. Got a number in your head? Well, the answer is 9. Now, I know that doesn't sound bad, but did I mention that 8 of them were better known for playing other positions, like running back, quarterback, cornerback, safety, or offensive tackle? Only one of them just played special teams. That's kicker Jan Stenerud, who was inducted in 1991. It's not like there haven't been great special teamers since or before then. They simply aren't getting voted for. If there were really good reasons for this, I wouldn't mind so much. But some of the reasons given by the people on the show, many of which have votes for the Hall of Fame ballot, just pissed me off to no end. Howard Balzer said that he has nothing against Steve Tasker or Ray Guy, but that he wants to vote for a, quote, every down player. Newsflash, Balzer, there are no every down players, unless you've been watching too many episodes of Ice Shield 21. Even a position like quarterback, where you're supposed to be on the field for every play, depending on time of possession, that every down player could be off the field for more than half the game. Another person on the show, in what I think was an attempt at humor, said that putting a special teams player in the Football Hall of Fame would be like, quote, putting the best pinch hitter in the Baseball Hall of Fame. Yeah, because a person like Steve Tasker, who's on the field anytime a half starts, someone scores, or someone punts, which can be about 12 to 14 times a game, is entirely comparable to a person batting once in baseball with a slight chance of playing in the field the next half inning if there is one. A pinch hitter is one of 27 minimum batters for his team, or 54 minimum batters that will appear in the game, making his one at-bat at most less than 2% of the game. Oh, and pinch hitters aren't used every game. If you wanted to make a better comparison, you would have said that would be like putting the best closer in the Baseball Hall of Fame, since they play roughly the same percentage of the game. But wait, there are closers in the Hall of Fame. 4 of them, in fact. And good luck trying to convince people not to put in Trevor Hoffman or Mariano Rivera. NFL games average 125 plays per game, meaning a special teamer like Steve Tasker is in the game around 10% of the game at least, unless the team somehow commit turnover after turnover after turnover. Steve Davis decided to contribute his own idiocy by saying, quote, why is he on special teams? Because they can't start on offense and they can't start on defense. Of course! It couldn't possibly be because blocking, covering, and returning kicks require different schemes, tactics, and players' skill sets to the point where it requires its own coach, right? And it couldn't possibly be because these special teamers do in fact back up and play in positions on offense and defense like, say, Steve Tasker. And it couldn't possibly be because kickers and punters aren't on offense or defense because that doesn't involve kicking the ball. The last time it did was when Doug Flutie drop-kicked an extra point. That was 3 years ago, and before that, it happened 64 years ago. But Terrence Moore, he outdid everyone on the show by saying that putting a special teamer in the Hall of Fame would be like spitting in the face of Dick Butkus. First off, don't drag Dick Butkus into this. I don't care how old he is, he will hunt you down. Now, I can only assume this is an insult, but I can't really tell because the last person that did spit in the face of Dick Butkus was Mean Joe Green, a defensive lineman for the Steelers who, by the way, is in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. So you spit in Dick Butkus' face and you get in the Hall of Fame. Well, there goes the insult. And he didn't spit on him for any special teams related reason. He did it because the Bears were beating the crap out of the Steelers' offense. So not only is it a baseless insult, it's also completely irrelevant. But let's get to the root of what Moore is saying. Special teamers shouldn't be allowed in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Now let's play thesaurus with this statement and say that special teamers are football players, which isn't exactly much of a stretch. Therefore, according to Terrence Moore, football players shouldn't be allowed in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Brilliant! Let's just look at some good special teamers in the game recently or right now. Adam Vinatieri, Josh Cribbs, Rob Baronis, Leon Washington, Jeff Fiegels, Matt McBriar, Phil Dawson. Okay, I'll admit some hometown bias on that one. Jason Elam, or how about the recently retired Morton Anderson, who is the all-time scoring leader in NFL history, and who, by the way, is in the Danish American Football Federation Hall of Fame. Now, the way I see it, there are 3 solutions to this problem. 1, give Hall of Fame voting rights to people who aren't so narrow-minded that it seems like they just started watching football yesterday. 2, force quote-unquote every down guys to play special teams. Have the backup quarterback kick field goals while his backup holds it. Tell the safeties that they're the gunners on punts now. Or have the starting running back be a wedge buster on kickoffs. I'm sure that'll go over really well with the management, fans, and the players themselves. The third solution is simple. Just get rid of special teams if you don't care about them that much. And somewhere right now, Jim Rome is smiling. Anyway, I'm going to go prepare to watch the Hall of Fame induction ceremonies. This is SC. It's just a coincidence that my initials are the same as SportsCenter's.